let's move on to the news. And I would say one of the most newsworthy figures of the last 24 hours or so is Kota Ibushi, who we were discussing on Ask Away. His contract has ended with New Japan Pro Wrestling. He is free. New Japan put out a pretty basic statement stating with the conclusion of his contract period, on January 31st, 2023, Kota Ibushi has departed New Japan Pro Wrestling. Ibushi had been recovering from injury since October 2021. We apologize to Ibushi's fans for the abrupt announcement and join them in wishing Ibushi the very best in all his future endeavors. So Ibushi is now a free agent, and he has already been announced for the Collective for the WrestleMania weekend. He has been announced to take on Speedball Mike Bailey at Josh Barnett's Bloodsport 9. And then the next day, he will be part of Spring Break. No announcement yet for his opponent at Spring Break. But that card's, God knows what it will be.
At Spring Break, like the options are limitless. You know, at the top of my list has to be a match with the Invisible Man. We need to see it.
It could
it's a dream match.
Very well happen. They're also going to be doing a Speedball against Il Del Vikingo at Spring Break. And as I mentioned on Ask Away, I was going to check up on this, and this is how it's been promoted, and it was confirmed to me by Fight TV that all 11 shows, part of the Collective, which includes Spring Break and Bloodsport, come with your Fight Plus subscription, which is, if you have been watching shows, it's $5 for everything that weekend of those 11 Collective events. I mean, that is, obviously they are using this weekend as one to just boost up their subscription numbers, which I don't know how you can, even if you're going to watch one show, you're getting beyond your value for $5 compared to what you were paying in years past.
It says there's a 7-day trial. Does that include this weekend as well?
I don't know. I would think that they would prohibit you from being able to use a trial for that particular period, but I don't know the answer to that.
I doubt that they could. How could they?
Well, I mean, that was the same deal with WrestleMania as well. And how did that work? Where they had the
I don't know if they did. I don't know if it was prohibited.
Well, something to definitely look into. But regardless, I mean, if you're getting dinged for $5, it's you're more than getting your value out of
that's very interesting. And you know what? Really good for the Collective to potentially have far more eyeballs on them than ever before.
This will probably be the most watched events that they have ever put on, just given that lower price point and the amount of people. Like, if anyone has been on the fence about Fight Plus, this is the weekend people are going to jump on. The key will be keeping them as well, but that is always going to be the case with these. So anyway, we're at WrestleMania weekend already taking shape. What are just some of your overall thoughts on Kota Ibushi? He is 40 years old now. This will be his first match, at least unless he wrestles before WrestleMania weekend, which he very well could. There's nothing preventing him from doing so, but has not wrestled since October of last year. And what are you looking out of Kota Ibushi? And it seems like he's not in any rush to sign anywhere. It looks like he wants to be a freelancer and do cool stuff.
Well, number one for me, is to see the status of Kota Ibushi now. Over a year since the last time we saw him from what sounds like a pretty bad shoulder injury. How does he look the same? And can he wrestle the same? Now, I don't know if a blood sport match, even if it's against Speedball Mike Bailey, I don't know if that's necessarily the full Kota Ibushi experience in terms of what we're used to with the high flying and whatnot. But you can guarantee, I'm sure there will be some kicks and some work, attached to that shoulder. So I'm just kind of curious to see him work a different style. Like, he's one of the most creative, adventurous professional wrestlers that I think is currently on the scene. And it was wonderful to see him on a big stage in New Japan. But I think, if you've seen a bit of this guy's DDT career, you know that he's probably far more interested in things outside of what might be a wonderful box that New Japan offers. But I'm very curious to see, especially with him attached to something like a GCW, any indies that are currently out there, any promotion that's out there. I'm really curious to see creatively what he does. Obviously, there are going to be those questions about where he ultimately lands full time. AEW obviously is going to be the biggest topic. I think WWE shouldn't be, ruled out, at least, as part of the conversation.
I guess you can throw that one out there. If you look at the AEW option, do you think that if he has a resistance to signing any kind of deal, I mean, it doesn't. It to me, Tony Khan would seem open to doing a one-off if you have. I'm sure there's no shortage of great ideas of what you can do with Kota Ibushi, but do you want that commitment with a Kota Ibushi to do something more long-term and know that this guy is not going to go somewhere else?
I think there's still a lot of value to have him on for those one-offs, to promote a big pay-per-view match, or to promote a big Golden Lovers reunion, or to promote a big Kenny Omega versus Kota Ibushi match. Having him around here for 1 month, you can do plenty of storytelling and make a whole lot of money for everybody involved. I would actually more expect that than, him signing full-time to AEW. I don't expect him to move back or to move to America whatsoever. I mean, anything can happen, of course, but I see excursions with maybe like he's talked about wanting this school that he wants to start up in Japan. I see him keeping Japan as a home base, but, making the occasional yearly excursion to other parts of the world.
What if he just put up a security camera of him running his classes and you were offered a subscription to just watch the classes in progress?
Without understanding the language, yeah, the answer would be absolutely yes. Yes, I mean, anything involving this guy.
Nick Khan traveling to Japan to try and recruit this guy. I mean, that's a movie.
I mean, I only bring up the WWE aspect because, we all remember the CWC and they really wanted him. And who put the CWC together? It was Triple H, right? So,
I mean, he was giving a lot of false signals, like high-fiving Vince McMahon backstage. They probably thought it's like, oh, we got this guy.
Yes. I can at least see them making a play, and rolling out the red carpet for him in terms of reduced schedule, I could see him, at least being given a pretty nice offer.
Is that Kyle Phoenix?
Kyle Phoenix.